Hello there, and welcome to Tricky Trivia, the YouTube series where we test Yu-Gi-Oh fans' knowledge on a variety of subjects, from manga to anime, card games, and video games. Anything goes on Tricky Trivia. Last week we saw Xthedarkone set the bar on our Tricky Trivia tower with his score of 23 points. And this week we have a new contestant hoping to get their place on the Tricky Trivia tower and knock Xthedarkone down. So let's get into it and meet our first contestant. Please welcome to Tricky Trivia, Charlie Chespin.
So I'm Charlie Chespin. I've been a Yu-Gi-Oh fan since pretty much the game's inception. I am currently having a lot of fun with the Link Evolution game for the Switch. I'm doing a lot of videos for that currently. Yeah, I enjoy Yu-Gi-Oh a fair bit.
I see. So you're saying you were into the Yu-Gi-Oh card game before Xthedarkone. You predated it. You were like, concept, I know this, I'm in. That was you. You were ahead of the curve.
Yeah, I got a couple of packs of Legend of the Blue Eyes White Dragon when that was first out. So I've been there since. Yeah, exactly.
Fair enough. Do you think you can top the Tricky Trivia tower? Do you think you can knock Xthedarkone down to second place?
I don't know. I guess we'll have to find out. Depends on if you've got some tricky ones for me.
Oh, well, it is Tricky Trivia, so I'm hoping they're tricky. And I hope we will learn little factoids about Yu-Gi-Oh in the process of testing ourselves. Awesome. Are you ready to get into this? Are you ready to dive into Tricky Trivia?
I am prepared.
All right, we're going to start nice and easy, I hope, I say. So the first question for you is, what is the set code for Duel Devestator?
Oh, that's Dude.
Yeah, it is. I love it so much.
Yeah, that's a very easy to remember one.
It's a nice, easy question to start you right off. Okay, now we're going to go to a bit more obscure. You're a fan of the games, yeah? Like the video games?
Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna say yeah, we're gonna hope. Alright, so in Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories, what is the max amount of attack a card can have?
Oh, Forbidden Memories.
Yeah, going right back to the start there.
Oh, is that... I actually get a lot of the older Yu-Gi-Oh! Games mixed up in my head. I think Forbidden Memories is the one where you can just kind of fuse cards on a whim.
Yep.
So I'm thinking the maximum attack that a card has is Meteor Black Dragon, which is 3,500.
Aww. Ah, the max attack you can get onto a card is actually 9,999.
Oh wow! Okay, yeah. Okay.
We discovered there was a cap, but yeah, it takes a lot of really convolutedness to do. But you can in fact get to 9,999 attack on a card. It doesn't matter. Really, the card. I think you have to start with the Meteor Dragon. I remember someone who's got it. You know what? I'm sure I'll insert in the video at some point here the entire maths of how we know this answer. I'll edit it in. It'll be fine. But yeah,
I'd like to see that too.
Yeah,
it's a good game to watch speedrun actually.
It's such a weird game. I have no idea what the star signs mean at all. It's like, are you from Venus, Mars? And I'm like, what does this mean?
Yeah, it's got some very weird mechanics in it. It is not like your everyday Yu-Gi-Oh!
I mean, back when they first started, none of them were. Every Yu-Gi-Oh! Game was so weird except for the handhelds. Then they actually made sense, but prior to that, every single one was very strange and quirky. But it's okay, we've got more about the quirky games coming up later on in the questions, so...
Good.
I hope you're ready for those. But our question 3 is over to the censorship, and what was censored or changed on the European release of the trap card, The Emperor's Holiday?
They gave him a vest to wear instead of being shirtless, I think, right?
They did!
Yeah.
Yeah, look at you, you're on 10 points.
Nice.
Not too bad, not too bad. I like that one. I just feel so bad for him. He's not on holiday, you put a vest on him. You've stifled him, he's not on holiday anymore.
Leave the man alone, let him enjoy his holiday.
Right. I love that one so much. All right, so over to the manga. In the first manga volume, what other manga series does Yugi reference when talking about the Millennium Puzzle?
Oh, I'm not too well versed on the manga. Let's see. when talking about the Millennium Puzzle, huh?
Yeah, he specifically references another manga that is running during that time. And I'll give you a minor hint, it's quite a popular manga.
That doesn't really narrow it down.
Well, I couldn't be too nice with my hints.
I'm gonna take a shot and just say Dragon Ball.
Correct.
Hey!
Look at that. It is Dragon Ball. He hopes that maybe a dragon will come and grant his wish like in Dragon Ball. That is...
Oh, you know what? I do remember that now that you've said that.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. All right, so next question for you is what deck/combo is responsible for the Forbidden and Limited list?
Oh, the very first Forbidden and Limited list.
It was this little combo that made them go, we might need to do something about that.
Is that the Makura the Destructor, Call of the Haunted, Dark Scorpion, Chick the Yellow combo?
Oh my god, no. No, it's not. That's a whole other combo right there. It is the Yatagarasu Lockdown.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Get rid of all the cards and then poke them for like 300 damage each turn until they're dead.
Yeah, actually, yeah, I know why I've gone wrong there. It's because Makura the Destructor wasn't actually released at the time of the first ban list, but...
Alright, question 6, a nice and kind of easy one for you. Who voices both Seto Kaiba and Bastion in Yu-Gi-Oh! And Yu-Gi-Oh! GX?
Oh, Eric Stewart, I believe his name is.
That is correct. Alright, next question. Question 7 is, what Yu-Gi-Oh! Character's name was mistranslated into Mike during the Yu-Gi-Oh! Duelist manga? If it helps you, it was in Chapter 8 of Yu-Gi-Oh! Duelist.
That does not help me.
It doesn't.
Mike.
Yeah, one of the characters is mistranslated, so he's Mike for the entirety of that chapter, and it's quite funny.
Is it one of the regular characters?
It's a big character. It's not like a character you wouldn't know. But it's Mike. And it's funnier when you realize who it is.
Is it maybe Bandit Keith?
Oh. No, it's not. It's Marek Ishtar. Fear the Mike Ishtar.
Mike Ishtar. Oh, Mike, that's brilliant.
Mike shall steal and beat you with god cards. It's all about that fearsome Mike.
Wow.
Yep.
Incredible.
I love some of these things. All right, question 8. What is the first card in the set of Legendary Duelist Magical Hero?
Ooh.
It's a rather recent set, right? So.
Yeah, that is pretty recent. I did actually open some of that set, which is pretty rare for me. I'm thinking it might be Magician Soul.
Oh, you would be wrong.
Oh no.
It would be Dark Magician Girl in common printing. She is the very first card of that set. All right, you got 2 more questions and you're sitting at 20 points. How are you feeling?
You know, it's a bit hit and miss, but not too bad.
You got 1 more question that you need to get right to take the top of the tower.
I think I can do it.
All right, I think you got this. Okay, back to our obscure games now. Name the Yu-Gi-Oh! Game that is based around chess and has you playing during the Tudor time period.
Chess?
It's around chess and it's based around the Tudor time period. That's all I can say without giving it away.
I'm guessing that's War of the Roses.
I'll allow it. It's Duelist of the Roses, but yeah, it is.
Duelist of the Roses, yeah.
I'll allow it. You were close enough. Close enough. Which means 1 more question in it for you. And we're back to ending on my favourite way to end. Censorship of Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards. Yay. I hope you censored. I know, I hope you censored Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards and how
I do actually find it quite fascinating.
Oh yeah, no, it's absolutely great. I love reading through that list. So, how did they censor the card Dark Witch for its European release? There are 2 things.
Dark Witch.
Yeah, there are 2 things that they did. Technically 3. Yeah.
Well, I'm guessing one of them might be like the dress length, maybe. There's probably some sort of religious symbolism. I think maybe she had horns. A lot of the stuff that they changed. They used to have horns in the original version, which they took off.
So you're going with those two? You're going with dress lengthening and horns.
Yeah, and probably something to do with cleavage as well.
Yes.
That's a go-to. Yeah, I'm saying, like, it must be that she had some sort of religious thing, and also because I remember the English artwork, and it's just like a woman in a dress essentially. So it must have had something to do with lengthening the skirt and like erasing the cleavage.
There's one part of it. Yeah, I'm going to give you it because you basically said it. It was the horns were changed shape, so they made them less pointy, and changed the color, so they look a little bit more like ears instead, and then they lengthened her dress both lengthwise on the lower part and then covered up her cleavage more. So I'll totally give you that. You totally nailed that. That is
perfect.
Exactly what they did. Now she just has ears instead of horns. Yay.
So sad.
So sad indeed. So that means your total is 30 out of 50. Which is pretty good. It means you are taking the top spot on the Tricky Trivia Tower. How do you feel about that?
You know what? I can't complain. I'm pretty happy with that.
Yeah, look at that. You have now officially raised the bar, as they say.
Hopefully I can keep it there.
Yeah, we'll see how long you get to sit pretty on the top. But thank you for coming on to Tricky Trivia. We hope you had fun.
I did have fun. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. Oh, it looks like Charlie Chespin has done it. He has knocked Xthedarkone down to second place and raised the bar on our Tricky Trivia Tower with a score of 30 points. Will our next contestant be able to knock Charlie Chespin off the spot, or will he remain at the top? Find out on the next episode. And if you haven't done already, check out the first episode where Xthedarkone set the bar. There are 10 more tricky trivia questions for you to try out. And don't forget to let us know your score in the comment section below. We'd love to know if any of you guys scored higher. Would you be further up the Tricky Trivia Tower than Charlie Chespin? Would you knock him off? Would you be where Xthedarkone was? Let us know in the comments where you placed. Until the next episode, I've been EJ Allen. Follow me on Twitter, and maybe you could be a contestant on Tricky Trivia. All you gotta do is get in touch. But for now, I'll see you on the next episode. Bye-zee!